And now for our final topic. And this one's totally going to be fun. This one is going to be total fun. In fact, I even want people to get ready to comment on this one, because I think everyone's going to want to comment on this one, and I am certainly interested in what you think about this. But Lights Camera Bod, which is another YouTube site, they do fun little Twitter games once in a while. And their most recent one involves Pixar. And this is the game. And it's kind of a hard one when you really think about it. They have 3 columns of Pixar movies. And the challenge is to delete one movie from each column forever. That means if you had the choice, and of course no one's going to put this into practice, but it's like a real head scratcher. From each column, A, B, C, you take a movie and you say, I am never going to watch this movie again. I am removing this movie from my circulation forever. That's the game. And that's really hard to do with Pixar movies. But I figured, hey, what the heck? Let's do this anyway. This might make for a fun topic. So, here's how I'm going to do it. We're going to go through each column one by one. And I'm going to first ask you guys what you would remove from each column. And then I'm going to give my opinion. So, here's column A. Column A, the movies are Toy Story, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, and Toy Story 2. Of these 4 movies, which one do you remove from your viewing pleasure experience forever? Which one do you never watch again? And let's go and let's see if anybody says it. So Seattle Builds 2 picks Incredibles to be removed from this from column A. He will not watch Incredibles ever again. I must admit, that's a tough one. Incredibles is a great one. Like, column A is, by the way, the hardest one to choose from because it's got Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Finding Nemo, Incredibles. So Seattle Builds 2 says Incredibles is gone. I'll give you guys another 5 seconds or so for you to pick your own. And you might want to just pick all three just because of the delay in the live stream. But let's see here. Nancy says Incredibles. Dan T says B, so that means Incredibles. So a lot of people say they would rather never see The Incredibles again. You know, here's the funny thing. I was leaning towards The Incredibles as well, but I'm not going to choose it. I'm choosing Toy Story 1. And it's kind of a cheat, but here's why. Because you've got 2 Toy Story movies here. I think Toy Story 2 is clearly the better of the 2. And in my reviews, my print reviews, which I do have print reviews out there, by the way, iCritic.net, Toy Story 2 is a 5-star movie, Finding Nemo is a 5-star movie, Incredibles is a 4.5-star movie, and Toy Story is a 4-star movie. So by half a star, I'm removing Toy Story from the list. I will never see Toy Story again, and I guess I'm just going to have to live with that. Now then, column B. From column B, which of these movies would you never watch again? If, basically someone was like forcing you, like pick one to never watch again. Would it be Coco, Toy Story 3, Inside Out, or Monsters Incorporated? Let me go back over here briefly to see if anyone has picked. So Seattle Builds 2 picked Inside Out. And Dante says we vote you out of the cool club. No one liked that I took Toy Story off, but oh well. Seattle Builds 2 says Inside Out is gone. Does anyone else have an opinion? Would you remove Coco, Toy Story 3, Inside Out, or Monsters Incorporated? Do we have any more votes? Dan T says Inside Out. Nancy says, I've never watched Inside Out, so I can't miss what I've never had. Very fair point. Okay, I'm totally going to go against the grain again, folks, because here's the thing. Out of all these movies, when it comes to Inside Out, I gave Inside Out 5 stars, and I actually, for my top 10 list that year, I listed as the best film of the year. So clearly I'm not getting rid of Inside Out. Now, I'm not as big a fan of Monsters, Inc. as some people are, but I do greatly enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. And I liked Coco. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think that was pretty good. So now you're going to really hate me, but I only gave Toy Story 3 3 stars. And I've told people before, I don't think Toy Story 3 is that great. I mean, it's good, but Toy Story 3 has always bugged me because while it has a very emotional beginning and a very emotional ending, that stuff in the daycare is not essential to anything that's happening when you really get down to it. Like, there is no reason for them to have, like, mobster toys, and there's no reason to have any of that. I don't think... And even though Mexican Buzz is funny, he's not funny enough that I would give up these other movies. So, I would remove Toy Story 3. And now I'm probably really going to be kicked out of the club now. I can't wait to see what the response is. So, it might seem like I'm a Toy Story hater. I'm not. I own all 4 Toy Story movies. And I think it's unfortunate that, you know, I had to pick 2 of them. But, you know, hey, these are the rules. This is the game, right? And now we have column C. Now, column C is like... This was a much easier choice. But which one, I'm going to ask you guys first, would you never watch again? Would it be WALL-E, Brave, A Bug's Life, or Ratatouille? So let's see, first of all, what people are responding and which ones they would choose. So Rideshare Driver has never seen any of this group. Yeah, I am a 90s kid, but... you know, I also judge quality over nostalgia. Yeah, Dustin, a little late on that one. Well, yeah, no, the ending was epic for Toy Story 3, but I didn't think the middle stuff was very good. That's the thing. So, anyway, Kevin loses his cool pass, whatever. So, Seattle Builder says Brave, gone. Dan T says... I'll say Ratatouille, mainly because the rat was annoying. Ryan, who definitely has a claim to fame on this one, says, Brave, I like it, but it's nowhere near top-tier Pixar. So Dustin says Ratatouille was awesome. Yeah, I know Ratatouille was awesome, but Dustin, that's not the question. The question is, of these 4 movies, which one... Hypothetically, this is the game. Do you choose to never watch ever again? WALL-E, Brave, A Bug's Life, or Ratatouille? Come on, Dustin. You got to vote on one of these now that we know you're here. Nancy says, I loved Bug's Life as a kid, but now the graphics are unwatchable for me. So I'm assuming for you that would be A Bug's Life. So come on, Dustin. Share us your opinion before I share mine. You got to tell us, which one of these 4 would you take away? Which one? And by the way, if you guys are enjoying the game, give the video a thumbs up. It'd be really appreciated. You know, we might do more of these in the future. Come on, Dustin. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Okay, it's either a delayed response or he's just going to be a jerk and not tell us. So, anyway, Brave. Okay, Brave. There we go. All right, so a little bit more of a mixed bag on this one, but it primarily seems to be between Brave and A Bug's Life, with one person saying Ratatouille. The vast majority are saying Brave. Okay, so what's my choice? I'm getting rid of WALL-E. No, I'm not. Calm down. WALL-E's awesome. No, WALL-E is safe. WALL-E's a 5-star movie in my opinion. No, actually, for me, it came down to 2 movies. But considering WALL-E and Ratatouille, I gave 5 stars in my print reviews. Guess what? They're not going anywhere. Those 2 are safe. But it was really, really hard to choose between these 2. Not because either one was terrible, but because I think both of them were average, if we're being frank. I could personally live without seeing either of these two ever again. And I really mean that. If I never saw these movies again, I probably would be okay. But I'm ultimately going to choose A Bug's Life. For a very different reason. Because Bug's Life has always stood out as like the Pixar movie that really disappointed me. Now you have to remember, back in, I think this was 1998, there were two bug movies that came out. A Bug's Life and Ants. Ants came out first. It was from DreamWorks. And while I will admit that the animation is not as good in Ants as it is in A Bug's Life, Bug's Life definitely has that one over Ants. I thought Ants was really refreshing, and it was smart, and it was edgy, and I loved the dialogue. I loved that it was made for adults and not for kids. I was, I think, 13 or so at the time, so I was starting to lose interest in simple kids movies, and Ants was definitely like a nice bridge into more sophisticated adult humor, if you will. And then we saw Ants like a few weeks later, and I remember just, okay, it looks pretty. It looks better than Ants, but boy, I'm not enjoying this nearly as much. I do think A Bug's Life also had a slightly better villain, Kevin Spacey, my favorite despicable actor out there. So I'm going to pick A Bug's Life. Now, this column, again, this was a much easier call. Like, in reality, I could definitely live without watching these two again. It's much, much harder to make a case for any of these movies. Yes, even Toy Story 3 that I would personally never want to watch again. But since this is the game, and since those are the rules, I remove Toy Story 3, and A Bug's Life. Cool how they kind of just zag like that. I know. I've lost a lot of street cred on that one. Huh? But anyway, so anyway, do more of these games. Okay, I will. So were you not sad that A Bug's Land closed at Disneyland a few years ago then? No, not even a little close. I mean, it's tough to be a bug was cute, but honestly, that was a kitty. The one reason I am maybe a little upset of A Bug's Land closing is because I think for little kids, that's I think they're missing out on something. We needed more kid rides at California Adventure. But anyway, that's where we're going to end that game. But hey, you know what? It doesn't have to end here. If you didn't do this live, you can still play the game. Comment below and let us know which of these three movies, and it has to be one from each column. You can't pick like Brave and A Bug's Life and, Monsters, Inc. You can't do that. You have to pick one from every column. Which ones, if you could never watch them again, would you choose never to see again? We will definitely do more games like this in the future. All right. And with that said, that is our show. Now let me go through the questions real quick to see if there's anything really to answer. Probably not much. There is some debate. Seattle Builds 2, in reference to The Mask, said there's no privacy in public, therefore no private spaces can exist, except the CDC has kind of made it clear that you are to stand 6 feet from people, and if they're saying that and you're not following it, that puts the person not following it in the wrong, not the person who wants the rule followed. And Rideshare Source Driver says, and how does the virus work in common waters like pools and lakes and oceans? I would assume very similarly, you keep your distance. Also, when it comes to water, there's that whole disinfectant thing. And like most pools have chlorine. So, anyway, that's my comment on that. Ryan's Treasure says, have you ever thought of doing one of those Pixar ranking tiers like you did for the Walt Disney Animation Studio films? Actually, I was thinking about that today. And for a while, I didn't think I would because Pixar movies lean way more positive than negative. But they have enough now, and there's been a few misfires, so I could probably do that. And not every single Pixar movie is like a S rank tier movie. There's some really, like Monsters Incorporated, I'd probably give that a B+, even though it's considered a classic. So, who knows? I'm thinking about that, though. Maybe that might be the next fun thing we do for tomorrow's episode. Who knows? And Chris believes people who believe in the corona hoax are stupid sheeple. Yeah, Chris, because nothing says that you're not a sheep member than to basically, in unity, deny using the mask. No, I'm not a sheep. I don't want to wear a mask. No. So, yeah, Chris, go. You can have that opinion, but once you call people sheep, go screw yourself. And Ed Turtle says, I would have chosen The Incredibles, Inside Out, and Brave to do away with personally. I was very, very close to picking The Incredibles, but at the end of the day, I do like Incredibles a little bit more than Toy Story. I would never pick Inside Out. That was the best film of the year that year. So anyway, what is your rating for Cars 2? I'd give it 2 stars, although I haven't seen it in several years now. I would say 2 stars too, but I will say Cars 2 was the first Pixar movie that I had bought. I brought it home. I always rewatch Pixar movies. I put it on. I had my 3D glasses because I have a 3D TV. And about 25 minutes into it, I kind of said, no, I just, this is just too boring. And I didn't finish it. So